as the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, and these are the department or ministers' head, and they are called honorable,
Okay.
meaning honorable, no corruption in the
Unlike in the Philippines.
unlike in Philippines, they are worthy to be called honorable because they are not corrupt.
Ilan taon ba siya daw umalis doon?
Mag-titray pa lang yata si Mel eh.
Magtitray lang ba? So hindi pa pumapasok.
Hindi pa.
Some months ago, we visited Parliament House in Canberra, the capital city of Australia. Rising gently from Capitol Hill in Canberra, Parliament House is more than just a seat of government. It's a powerful symbol of Australia's democratic identity, blending modern architecture with deep historical roots. Its massive flag, one of the largest in the world, flies above the building, visible across Canberra, reinforcing its role as a national landmark. At its core, Parliament House is where Australia's federal laws are debated, shaped, and enacted. It houses the two chambers of the national legislature, the House of Representatives, where elected members represent the people, and the Senate, which represents the states and territories. Parliament House is also a place of ceremony and national reflection. It hosts state visits, official receptions, and moments of significance in Australian political life.
Nagpo-protest?
Baka nagpo-protest o what?
Protest ba yun?
Yeah, independent yung pa in China guilty.
China guilty for harvesting.
Yeah, protest. Yan, protest.
Help stop persecution in China. Ano ba ito mga inchik? Nakaano pa sila eh.
Protest sila.
Nakadilaw.
Ba't hindi sila nagpo-protesta? Hindi naman sila, sa China sila magprotesta.
Oo nga, bakit sila dito nagpo-protest?
Yun.
Here, elected officials gather to propose legislation, scrutinize government actions, and debate national priorities, from economic policy to environmental protection. The building also accommodates the offices of the Prime Minister, ministers, and opposition leaders, making it the operational heart of Australian politics.
Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, and these are the department or ministers' head, and they are called honorable,
Okay.
meaning honorable, no corruption in the
Unlike in the Philippines.
unlike in Philippines, they are worthy to be called honorable because they are not corrupt.
Yet, despite its grandeur, the building maintains a human scale. Its corridors, courtyards, and public galleries invite citizens to observe democracy in action, whether watching debates or simply exploring the architecture. We have the opportunity to watch politicians in action as they debate on important issues affecting Australian life, but photography and filming are not allowed. Although unmistakably modern, Parliament House draws inspiration from centuries-old democratic ideals. One of the most important influences is the Magna Carta. Signed in 1215, the Magna Carta established the principle that no one, not even a monarch, is above the law. This foundational idea traveled through British legal tradition and became deeply embedded in Australian political system. In Parliament House, this legacy is reflected in the rule of law governing all proceedings, the accountability of elected officials, and the protection of individual rights and freedoms. A rare 1297 copy of the Magna Carta is even displayed inside the building, serving as a tangible link between medieval England and modern Australian democracy. When you visited Parliament House, you weren't just stepping into a government building. You were walking through a living narrative. From the ideals of the Magna Carta to the modern workings of a federal democracy, the structure embodies a continuum of political thought and civic responsibility. It stands as a reminder that democracy is not static. Like the building itself, rooted in the ground yet open to the sky, it evolves, shaped by the people it serves. What makes Parliament House particularly striking is its accessibility. Unlike many seats of power around the world, it was deliberately designed to feel open to the public, both physically and symbolically, reflecting the principle that government is accountable to the people. Opened in 1988, Parliament House was designed by architect Romaldo Girgola and his firm after an international competition. The design is both subtle and profound. Rather than dominating the landscape, the building is built into Capitol Hill. Visitors can literally walk over the structure, standing atop the grass-covered roof beneath a towering flag mast. This idea that the people stand above their government is central to its design philosophy. Inside, the architecture continues to convey meaning. The Great Hall features a massive tapestry inspired by Australian landscapes. The chambers use color symbolism, green for the House, echoing the British tradition, and red for the Senate. Extensive use of Australian materials, timber, stone, and art grounds the building in national identity. The layout also subtly aligns with the original vision of Walter Burley Griffin, who designed Canberra with strong geometric axes and sightlines, reinforcing order and balance in civic life.
A short drive from the Parliament House is the Australian War Memorial. Standing at the northern end of Anzac Parade in Canberra, the Australian War Memorial is far more than a monument. It is a place where architecture, memory, and national identity converge, honoring sacrifice while confronting the devastating realities of war. Opened in 1941, during the very conflict it would later help to interpret, the Australian War Memorial was designed by architects Emil Soderstone and John Crust. Its structure combines Byzantine, classical, and distinctly Australian elements, creating a building that feels both timeless and grounded in place. Approaching the memorial, visitors are drawn along a ceremonial axis that aligns with Parliament House, symbolically linking sacrifice with national decision-making. The building's pale stone, domes, and arches evoke solemnity, while its symmetry conveys order in contrast to the chaos of war. At its heart lies the Hall of Memory, crowned by a striking copper dome. Inside, intricate mosaics and stained glass depict qualities such as courage, endurance, and sacrifice, virtues drawn not from triumph, but from human experience in times of conflict. Beneath the dome rests the tomb of the unknown Australian soldier, a powerful focal point for reflection. Surrounding the central shrine is the Roll of Honor, where the names of over 100,000 Australians who lost their lives in war are inscribed. The visual repetition of names, line after line, quietly conveys the scale of loss more effectively than any statistic. Functionally, the memorial serves three interconnected roles: a shrine, honoring those who served and died; a museum, preserving artifacts, stories, and historical records; an archive, supporting research into Australia's military history. Its galleries guide visitors through conflicts that shaped the nation, especially World War I and World War II. Through personal letters, uniforms, weapons, and immersive exhibits, the memorial transforms history into lived experience. It does not glorify war, rather it reveals its complexity, heroism intertwined with fear, duty alongside unimaginable hardship. The memorial's power lies in its honesty. It does not turn away from the brutality and destruction that defined the world wars. In World War I, Australian soldiers endured the horrors of trench warfare, mud, disease, and relentless artillery bombardment. Battles such as Gallipoli and the Western Front left deep scars on the national psyche. Walking through the galleries, the cost of these conflicts becomes unmistakable. War is shown not as the series of victories, but as a human catastrophe, measured in loss, trauma, and lives forever altered. The Australian War Memorial is ultimately forward-looking. By preserving the past, it challenges each generation to reflect on the kind of future they wish to build. From the devastation of the world wars emerge enduring lessons. The value of peace. Peace is fragile and must be actively protected. The cost of conflict. Decisions made by leaders carry consequences measured in human lives. The importance of remembrance. Remembering prevents history from fading into abstraction. The need for global cooperation. Wars of such scale reveal the dangers of division and unchecked power. For Australia, these lessons have shaped its identity as a nation committed, at least in principle, to diplomacy, international partnerships, and the prevention of large-scale conflict. Although deeply Australian in its focus, the memorial's message is universal. The stories it tells of courage, loss, and survival belong to humanity as a whole. In World War II, the scale of destruction expanded dramatically. Civilians became targets, cities were bombed, and the war reached Australia's doorstep in places like Darwin.
scholarship of the powerful. Out of the sweltering, breathless heat of the high tropics. We're in zombie territory. Zombie is what we call enemy suicide plane. That means that the ship is...
When you visited, you were not just observing history, you were participating in an act of remembrance that connects past, present, and future. The building itself, with its quiet dignity and symbolic design, guides visitors toward a deeper understanding that the true legacy of war is not victory, but the responsibility to seek something better. In this way, the Australian War Memorial stands not only as a tribute to those who served, but as a call to Australia and to the world to remember, to learn, and to choose peace over destruction whenever possible.